Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. Today we're going to do something that could be a very hearty breakfast or a great brunch and something everybody loves. But I'm going to do a version that if you're trying to avoid carbohydrates or you're gluten-free these days out of necessity, is I am doing a lovely eggs Benedict, but instead of the English muffins, I'm going to use Portabella mushrooms. Now, if you don't like mushrooms, it's not going to work for you. And because they are lovely and have nice big space in there, once we remove the stem and the bits, we have a lovely cavity that we're going to stuff with some diced ham, tomato, a little bit of onion, and then we're going to top that, of course, with a lovely piece of bacon, some perfectly poached eggs, and Hollandaise sauce. I've already done a video with Hollandaise sauce, so I'm not going to make you suffer through that again. But I will put a link so that you can find that video. And I'm going to top with some microgreens and serve with a beautiful side of fresh fruit. I have cantaloupe, honeydew, and strawberries. So let me get the mushrooms cleaned up, and we have to cook them first, and then it's on to brunch. Right, I know I said first was to cook the mushrooms. Sorry, my bad. If you want to cook the mushrooms in bacon fat, first you need to cook the bacon. If you're going to do the mushrooms in butter, then that's fine. So I have 4 slices of fairly fatty bacon. So we're going to have a lot of bacon grease. And just lay them in your pan. And I quite often put them in the pan before the pan is completely hot. Just takes a little longer to get it going. Well, I guess it doesn't take any longer because you do still have to wait for the pan to heat up. However you prefer to cook your bacon, you do it your way. I'm just cooking mine in a non-stick pan, and I'm going to keep the fat so I can cook my mushroom caps. And I am going to saute the filling in oil. It's already going to be really heavy with the bacon fat and everything. So I'm just going to use a little bit of avocado oil for the filling. So we'll be doing that in a different pan, but I don't need to start that quite yet. Once the bacon is done to your preference, I'm making mine crispy because everything else here is going to be very soft. And I would like some more texture in there. So crispy bacon it is. Just remove it from the pan. And with all that lovely bacon fat, we can cook our mushroom caps in. So just drain the bacon on a piece of kitchen towel. And we're going to place our mushroom caps in, bottom side down. Now I've just taken the stems out and brushed them thoroughly with a mushroom brush, or you can wipe them with a kitchen towel, or however you prefer to clean your mushrooms. And we're just going to let those cook. Once they're sort of halfway done, we can turn them over and let the insides get some heat. So while those are cooking, and they will take a while, so we don't need to be too rushed, we're going to move over to the other pan there and start on our filling. So let's turn that guy on. I'm only going to turn it to a low heat and warm it up. And as I said, we're going to use a little bit of avocado oil. If you don't have avocado oil, by all means you can use vegetable oil, safflower oil, or butter if you prefer. And actually you could use olive oil, would be nice. But I already poured in the avocado oil, so that's what we're using. Get that warmed up, and then we will add our filling. Right, we got our oil warmed up. So let's get started with our filling. And I've got 2 slices of black forest ham, about 3 slices of tomato, and 1 slice of onions, all of which I have chopped. Just into small pieces. Because remember, this is going to be a filling. Now we're just going to warm it up. So I'm going to keep it on a very low heat. I just wanted the pan hot to get, well, hotter to get the oil warmed up. And now I'm going to turn it right down because we don't want to dry everything out. And let's check on our mushroom caps. Okay. Looking great. Let's turn them over. And we're just going to get them in the middle of the pan where there isn't that much grease. And let them continue to cook. So that's already been about 8 minutes or so, and we're going to leave them another 5 minutes maybe. Alright, now that our mushroom caps are pretty well cooked, I did turn them up on the sides just to get the sides a little bit cooked, or a little better cooked. But they're lovely, and we're going to take them out and drain them on a paper towel. And now it's time to think about our eggs. Right. For our eggs, now you want 2 eggs per person, and we have a pot of water, and you want quite a bit of water, and we'll just turn it on to high, and then something that actually helps poached eggs a lot, just a tiny bit of vinegar in the water, just white vinegar. You won't taste it, but it'll help the eggs stay together. So let's get that boiling, and then we'll deal with the eggs. Now that our pot is boiling rapidly, I'm just going to turn the heat right off, and we're going to pull it off the burner most of the way. And I just use a slotted spoon because we'll be using it to take our eggs out later. And you want to get a nice swirl there on the water. And then crack your eggs in. There we go. And just give them about 3 minutes. And every now and then, you want to give it a little bit of a swirl just to make sure they're not sticking to the bottom. Okay, once your eggs are cooked, we're going to assemble. So we have our mushroom caps. Leave room for your fruit. We're just going to put our filling into the mushroom caps. And it's okay if you have a little extra spilling over the edges. And I have our nice crispy bacon. There. I love bacon, so I don't mind having extra. And then we are going to just pop our eggs on top. Stay there. And see how nicely they come out with that little trick with the vinegar? Okay. Our Hollandaise on top. And it is still warm, so it is quite a bit runnier than I was hoping for, but it's just fine. There we go. And microgreens, and just a little bit on top. Don't get too carried away. I do tend to go overboard. I love these. And of course, our fruit. We got cantaloupe and honeydew. And strawberries. There's a couple of strawberries in there. And a tip to keep your strawberries longer, when you get them home from the store or the market, fill a sink with cold water and put in about a teaspoon, or maybe a little less, of white vinegar. Let them sit, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. They don't take long. And then give them a little pat dry with a paper towel. You don't have to dry them totally. And then I put them back in their container with a paper towel in the bottom of the container. And they last much longer. Alright, let's have brunch. So there we have our eggs Benedict with Portabella mushroom caps. Let's just get the coffee in here. Coffee and orange juice. Normally I do tea, but for this I thought I would do coffee. Okay. So let's have a little taste here. See what we've got. Well, eggs got a little overcooked. I do prefer runny yolks, but sometimes it's hard to judge. There's so much going on in there. Some ham and bacon, and tomatoes and onions. And that Hollandaise is so good. If you've never made your own Hollandaise, if you've always made it from a packet, do try to make your own. It isn't that hard. And if it does break, there are ways to fix it. That is included in my video. And I will link the video with the Hollandaise recipe to this one, so you can check that out. Perfect brunch. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And I do appreciate everyone that watches. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Cheers.